Good morning, guys. Welcome back to Firestorm Freerunning and Acrobatics YouTube channel and series, Firestorm at Home. I'm Coach Summer. I got my co-stars Midna and Artemis with me. I don't know if you guys can see them, but Coach Freelove sprayed a bunch of catnip spray because they're the zoomies, so they're just gonna be chilling out hopefully halfway through the episode. But we are here for AcroFlex number 20. Oh my goodness, it is now May 2nd. There's some new updates to Animal Crossing. It's a bunch of new exciting things. Mother's Day is coming up. This is your reminder. It is not tomorrow, but it is this coming Sunday, I believe. Make sure that you guys do something nice for your moms or someone who has been a mom in your life. I know right now is a little bit of trying time if you are unable to see your family because of, health things and, you're just trying to do your best as a law-abiding citizen and staying home. Maybe make some arts and crafts with her if she's living with you. Maybe help her out around the house. Do something nice because moms are nice. They could be mama bears, and they can definitely be fierce when they have to be, but overall, moms are nice. But be sure to make sure that they feel special on their Hallmark calendar holiday, and everything will be good in your household, I promise. Let's get started with some AcroFlex. You won't be needing that many things today. You'll be needing your mat or a towel as your place mark. We are going to be using the edges or lines, so that's why I recommend a mat. And we're also going to be using the flat wall. So Coach Freelove and I, we have moved our furniture like 4 or 5 times in the living room, and we have like one wall that is used, and it's not even a full wall, it's a countertop wall. So that is what we use because we don't really use it for anything else. We call this our theoretical wall, but we are going to be doing our gravity splits and our stretches while using the wall as a tool. So that'll be a fun time for you guys. We did it a couple episodes before, but we're going to be going over that again. So yay. Let's go ahead and get started. We are going to start off on the floor, on the mat, and we are slowly going to build our way up, and then everything will be all good. They maybe won't, but anyway, starting off on our side, I'm going to be laying down on the right side. I'm going to be propping myself up with my elbow. So my weight is over here, my elbow is underneath my shoulder, and everything is going to be fine. So this bottom leg, this right bent leg, is going to be bent. This left leg is going to be pointed out in front of us. Now, if we are here with other siblings or other people, we want to make sure that we have room in the front and in the back so we don't kick them. Kicking people is not really a good thing, so make sure that you guys have equal amount of space, or maybe stagger or something we call windows in dance. But we're going to be right here on our side, our pointed toes in front, and we're going to push our way like we're pushing through water, and we're going to look at that foot right behind us, bending that forward, and pointing forward again. So we're going to be pushing through. Hi guys, Coach Freelove. I can't read lips. What's going on? And pointing through, pushing out, looking towards that back foot, pointing through, pushing back, and we're going to be here. We are just warming up our hip flexors and our lower body, just because since our heat wave, our mornings have kind of been a little bit colder, and then all of a sudden it turns to sweating hot. So we are slowly just warming up our body. You should be feeling this in your hip flexor. I feel it right here on my hip. So sometimes I do hit my hip just because it's losing all feeling except for pain. All right, and that foot is pointing out in front of you. You're going to do your little pulses right here. Remember to breathe through this as well. You should have a pointed toe because eventually we are going to go to a flexed foot, and you're going to feel that there are differences in your calf and in your leg. So pointed toe, pulses right here. You can have your top hand be up against your hip You can have it on your leg as well, or you can have it supporting you right in front, wherever feels most comfortable for you. And flex that foot. Ooh, I feel that definitely in my calves. Beautiful job, friends. We're going to extend both legs down towards the mat, and we are going to do our kicks up. So with my top leg, which is my left leg, I'm using my left arm in front of me so I don't fall over in front, but I'm going to kick all the way up and straight into the ceiling and back down. My hips are squared off towards the camera or towards in front of me, so they are stacking on top of me. I'm not over, I'm not looking towards the back. They are literally right on top of each other. So kick up and kick back down. This should be slow and controlled. It shouldn't be just a whoop-bam. Kick to the top, slow and controlled. And we're doing this with a pointed foot, pointed leg. Give me 3 more of these. And last one. And now we're going to flex that foot. So we're going to flex that foot on that kick up. Remember to keep that leg straight. Nice job.
Poor follow through.
Very poor follow. Alright, beautiful job, friends. We are going to switch to the other side. So I'm just going to swing my legs underneath me and to the other side. Face whatever direction works for you. Just make sure now that your left side is on the ground. My left hand, my left elbow are on the ground. Propping up my shoulder, my left hip is on the ground as well. If you are feeling any pain because you are stacking your hips or your weight by the mat, you can fold up your mat or you can grab a pillow as well, just to save from any pain right there. Bye. Remember to bend that bottom leg and point out in front of you, and you're going to push through.
Excuse me.
Remember to look back towards that foot. You'll have to dive your chest forward just a little bit. Beautiful job. That toe is pointing out in front of you and your little pulses. Remember to keep breathing. And flexing that foot. And remember, these movements shouldn't be too big. They shouldn't be like a foot. They should just be little controlled pulses, not exceeding like 3 or 4 inches. Not that much movement, but you should be feeling that burn. Beautiful job, friends. We are now going to extend both those legs out to the side. And just like the other side, we are going to do our kicks upward. Pointed toe. Ooh, that was my hip. Give me 3 more of these. All right, and flexed foot now. And 3 more. And beautiful. We're going to swing those legs underneath us into our forward pike. Ooh, my goodness. My hip flexors are definitely now awake and they are very warm, so that's going to be good. because we are going over our middle splits. So it's going to be a fun time today. All right, coming into our forward pike, point those toes in front of you. We're going to lift up through the spine, through the top of our head, reach those arms up as well, and forward fold over this. Grab as far as you can. Right now I'm not pushing myself too much just because I just got started, and I'm grabbing right at my ankles, or actually below my ankles towards my shin. So come forward. Remember to breathe. Ooh. And flex those feet. Continue that forward fold. And beautiful. Relax out of there. I'm going to grab my right leg. It's going to come right above my knee. I'm going to roll out my ankles in one direction. Oof. And other direction. Hello. It's madness here. Alright, that foot is now going to plant over onto the floor. My left arm and my right knee are going to make contact. And I'm going to turn towards the right and towards my right shoulder. Looking back towards that right shoulder. And slowly start to unwind. Unwind those legs. Left leg is now going to come up and over and rolling out that ankle. It's like one of the first times I've ever seen him play with the ball. I'm glad he's getting it. Ooh, this ankle is crunchy. Not really a good word to describe your ankles. Alright, rotate in the opposite direction. But it's always good to do your mobility drills and your stretches before you do anything too hard. I know there was once a point in my life where I didn't do them at all. I just would hop onto whatever apparatus. We are now going to place this foot onto the floor, and my right arm and my left leg are going to make contact, and I'm going to turn towards my left. Beautiful job, friends. We're going to unwind. Woo, my goodness. We are now going to come onto all fours. So I'm going to be on my knees and my hands. For right now, I'm going to have my neutral spine. What I mean by neutral spine is I'm not arching and I'm not hollowing out my body either. We are going to be going through those. But this is going to be my neutral spine. So it's pretty much straight spine through and through. When I arch, I am arching my back and looking up towards the ceiling. I'm also lifting my tailbone. When I go into my hollow, I'm going to let my head fall. My belly button is going to connect with my spine, and I'm going to round out my shoulders. I'm making sure I'm pushing through those shoulders, and then I'm reversing back into my arch. So find your flow wherever you are. What I want you to do is match it with your breathing. So your exhale, you should be here in your hollow. Your inhale is here in your arch. Try and sync up your breathing. Go as slow as you can. Back into a neutral spine. We're just going to wag our tail out and our shoulders out. So just wag your shoulders from side to side, your glutes from side to side. And beautiful. Coming down into our child's pose, we're just going to connect our booty and our heels. Almond, I got it. Our booty and our heels, and our hands are going to outstretch and outreach in front of us. Our forehead is going to connect with the mat. Remembering to breathe here. friends, coming up in front of this, we are going to come to a crisscross applesauce. I don't know when we say it, it rhymes. Our hands are going to be on our knees. I'm going to go through my chest isolations. So I'm going to push my chest through and forward, arching my back, and then I'm going to arch or move my rib cage to the right. And then pushing my rib cage towards the back, I'm hollowing my front and pushing towards the left and then back towards the front. So we're just going to go through these little isolations, almost trying to think that our rib cage is like a block, and we're trying to move that block in every direction, all in one piece. Once you reach your chest forward, you're going to go the opposite direction. It's definitely my awkward side going counterclockwise. And once your chest reaches the front, go ahead and relax, straight spine. Bringing your right arm over your chest, your left arm is going to be pushing that arm towards your chest. Your thumb is going to be up. And rotate that thumb down. And letting go of those hands. That left side is going to come up and in front of your chest. Your right arm is going to push your left arm into your chest. Remember, we are making sure that our chin and our chest do not connect. We want to have straight posture here. And rotate that thumb down. And relax out of that. We are going to go towards our side to sides. So in our crisscross applesauce, my right hand and my right elbow are going to connect to the floor. My left arm is going to come up and over, looking through my armpit. My sits bones are still grounded into the ground. They are not lifting up. I'm making sure they are both on the ground. And to the other side. And coming up and over. And last but not least, we are going to do our neck rolls. Our chin is going to fall towards our chest. Take a couple deep breaths here before we go into our neck rolls. Feeling how our body is warm as of right now. We're going to go into some deep stretches. It's going to be a fun time. All right, beautiful. Right ear to right shoulder. Looking up at the ceiling. Left ear, left shoulder, down towards your chest. And flow through your neck roll in this direction. Give me two more. And wherever your chin lands to your chest, you're going to roll in the opposite direction. Give me two more of these neck rolls. And wherever your last one is where your chin reaches your chest. Take 5 deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth. grab our first drink of water. You guys are going to meet me back on the mats here on the ground. It's going to actually, we're standing when we come back. Yes, because we were just on the ground. All right, go grab a drink of water, and I'll meet you back on the mat. Alright, welcome back, family. We just got our first drink of water. We are back here on our mat. Disclosure as well, just in case you haven't heard me mention it before, that mobility drill that we just did is not always standard. What we usually do is as standard as Firestorm. That was my own personal mobility drill and warm-up that I used from my previous dance school studio before I actually joined Firestorm. So that is my home studio. It is actually no longer open, unfortunately. But I have found a home here at Firestorm and glad that they have accepted me into their staff and into their Firestorm family. So we are going to start with our actual skill. Now that we are warmed up and doing mobility, done our mobility, we are now safe to go into these deeper stretches. If you ever do tune in past the live stream, I believe while we are on our live stream, you can rotate it back. We just don't want you guys to miss out on any mobility drills and warm-ups, kind of like how we do in class. We don't want you to just jump into class randomly and not prepare for what the skills that we are going to do. That can lead to injury, can lead to, stuff that if you just warmed up and did your mobility, that we are not going to have to worry about. We always want to make sure that your safety is number one and is key. A lot of the skills that we also are doing on these series is stuff that you don't need a spot, because not a lot of people are trained to spot you. If your parents are like, I can spot you, unless they have been trained and have worked in a facility like ours before, don't think it's just reaching your hand out and holding you. It's actually a lot more complicated than that. So parents, while I love that your enthusiasm, please don't spot your kiddo. I would hate for you to be like, I don't know what I was doing, and then they fell on their head. Our jobs as coaches is to make sure that that doesn't happen. So save the spotting for when we are back open, and for right now we are building up your muscle and your skills for when we do reopen and resume our regular classes, so we can spot you for those said skills. Awesome. So starting off on our mats, we're going to make our way down to the floor, but I'm going to be in a little bit of a not so wide straddle standing. It is definitely bigger than my shoulder distance, but what we're going to do is we're working our way down to the mat. So a lot of up and down, but it's totally good. We're warming up our legs. Alright, so we are going to come forward into our forward fold. Our knees are going to be locked out and behind us. I'm going to show you this first way. This is where we're going to be, flat back fold, with our arms out to the side. What a profile view looks like is right here. So we want to imagine that we have a plate on our back. For my more beginner students, I want your hands to be here on the back. If you are like, oh, I've been doing this for a while, start to challenge yourself. Have your arms up to the side, not even straightened out, because the closer it is towards your body, the less heavier it's going to feel. The more you start to reach out, your arm is going to feel a whole lot heavier. If you can, reach out in front of you. Remember to breathe here. in through the nose, out through the mouth, relax, all the way down. Beautiful. If your hands are touching the ground, awesome. If we're still working our way towards the ground, I want you to actively reach towards it. Relaxing here, our legs are still locked out. If you can grab your elbows, I would like you to, and just rock side to side, ever so slightly. What that looks like over here. All right, and stopping the swaying. I'm regrounding my feet just because I did turn. I'm going to pull my weight and shift my weight over to my right side, grabbing my foot and my ankle. My left leg, the leg that I'm not reaching towards, is going to bend forward at the knee, deepening that stretch on my right side ever so slightly. Straighten up out of that, rotate towards the center, relax here. And grabbing over towards our left side. Bending that right knee forward, deepening that stretch. And straightening out. Beautiful. So I'm going to go into a little bit of a deep squat while I talk to you guys. So what we're going to do next is our side-to-side lunge. So from this deep squat, I have my knees and my feet facing towards the corner of my mat. It's a lot harder when your feet are facing parallel to kind of squeeze our elbows in there in our upper body. So my feet and my heels are facing towards the mat in a more cheated out position. My right knee is going to be staying bent. My left leg is actually going to shoot out straight to the side of me. For my friends who haven't done this before, this is what it looks like. This is our side lunge. So for some of you, you may be having your booty up here. You guys are totally new to this. That is totally okay. I have done a lot of practice and balance with this, and we'll work through that too. So coming to our side-to-side lunge, if you need it, you can have your hands here on the floor to help support you. We just don't want to fall backwards. So making sure our side-to-side lunge, our right foot is facing towards the corner of our mat. Our left foot is flexed. My right arm is going to be pushing that knee ever so slightly if I needed it. And my hands are in front of me for balance. Breathing here. Point out that left foot. I'm now going to transfer that weight over towards my left side. So my left foot is going to find its way to the ground. I'm going to straighten out my right leg. So I'm in my forward fold straddle that we had. And then I'm going to shift my weight over to the left side, using those hands as balance. Situate yourself wherever you find it comfortable. You can sit that right hip down on the ground as long as your foot is flat on the ground here, and if you can, your left arm is pushing into that leg. We're going to flex this right foot here. And pointing it out. And flexing. All right, point out to go to the other side. Push those hands, push it through, back into your other side straddle. So we are going to go back and forth from that, just finding a rhythm of whatever works for you. I like to keep my hands on the ground to help me maneuver my weight over to the other side. So push through, other side, and push through, other side. We want to go back and forth. We don't want to spend more than 5 seconds on each side. We want to make sure that our legs and our body go through the movement. My chest is leaning forward, so I have some leverage, so I'm not just all upright. But I am finishing off my chest seated upwards. All right, beautiful. Let's do 2 more on each side before we come all the way down into our seated straddle. Whew. All right, friends, finding our way down to the mat. Whew. Let's go into our seated straddle. Our feet and our heels are going to go towards the corner of the mats. We're going to have our pointed toes here. I like to grab towards the inside of my legs to make sure that my knees are facing upright. Whew. Pointed toes right here. And flex. This straddle isn't just a stretch that I feel right now. This is my resting straddle. So I'm just comfortably here, pointing and flexing my toes. We're going to go into a more intense feeling of stretch in just a little bit, but let's point and flex through our toes. All right, friends. So finishing off with our point, we are going to do our leg lift. So before we go into straddle, we're just going to warm them up a tad bit more. We are going to do each side, and we're also going to do middle. We've done this before earlier in the series, and we haven't visited on it quite yet again. So I'm going to face towards my left leg. My left hand is going to be right behind my left glute. My right hand is in front of me, giving almost that slight push back, so my chest is almost at an angle, and my upper body is at an angle as well. So that right hand is going to help me lean back. My left leg is going to point, and it's going to point through the leg, so it is extremely straight. It's not bent at all. Point through the leg, and lift that leg. It's not a big lift. It's not supposed to be. This is just a very small, very little lift. We are going to do this 10 times on this left side. If you even got like a quarter of the inch, I'm happy with that. You shouldn't exceed more than a foot. So let's go at our own pace in lifting that left leg 10 times. When you're done with that, we'll go over to our right side. If you're fairly quick, awesome. Wait for me to explain the middle lift. All right, ready? And on your own time, 10 lifts. Beautiful. I'm moving over to my right side. If you saw, I even took breaks. I didn't do 10 straight in a row. I took little micro breaks where I did 3. All right, I'm going to wait. Okay, let's do 3 more. That is totally okay to do. Same thing with our right leg. Our right arm is behind our right glute. That left arm is now in the middle, helping me push my chest back. Point through that toe and leg lifts. Beautiful job. All right. I'm going to give a couple other friends to catch up to us if they haven't caught up yet. But our middle lifts, there are 2 ways that you can do these depending on what is achievable for you. For my more beginning students, we are going to have both of our hands right behind our glutes, and we're going to lift both legs at the same time. What that looks like with a bent arm, pointing through, and lifting those legs ever so slightly. For my more advanced students, your hands are in the center. If you want to do flat hands, you're more than welcome to, but I like to keep my fingers on their tippy tops. And you would just be lifting forward. I'm going to do the beginning ones just because I am not training for my press handstand right now. But I definitely do have the time. I'm just not doing it. And that's a personal choice. All right, bending at the elbows. That should have given you enough time to catch up. Leg lifts, ready, and 10 of these. Oh my goodness, that was so hard. Huh. All right. We are going to come back to our middle point up to standing, and then we are going to grab a drink of water. But we got to go through these last two, and then I promise you water. All right. We are going to go into our super squat. So that's when we were here before our side-to-side lunges, where I'm just here. My feet are pointed towards the corners of the mat, and my elbows are pushing towards my knees, or pushing out my knees. I'm going to place my hands right here in the center, and I'm going to lift my hips, and then I'm going to bring them back down to a squat. We're going to do 5 of these here. And last one, we're going to lift all the way up. We're going to bend those knees slightly. We're going to roll all the way up, with the last thing up being our head. Beautiful job. Last thing before water, we are going to do our standing quad stretch. So if you need to use a wall, a chair for your balance, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to leave my left leg planted, and I'm going to grab my right foot, and I'm just going to hold it behind me. And I want that knee to be pointed straight down to the ground. And beautiful. Let's do our other side. So right foot is going to be planted on the ground. We're grabbing our left foot. That left knee is pointed straight down towards the ground. Beautiful job. Let's go grab a drink of water, and then I will meet you guys at the wall. Alright friends, we're making our way back. I have actually moved my mat towards the wall, so we are going to go over there. You want your mat to line up exactly on the wall to give you a little bit of cushion, just in case you don't have carpet or hardwood. It's also good to use as a placement point. So if you are wearing socks, awesome, that's going to help you slide into your stretches easier. But if not, you don't have to worry about it. Work with what you have. If you ever want to challenge yourself, wear socks during your wall stretches, because that's going to help with gravity pulling you down a little bit. So we are going to be seated right up against the wall. We're going to go into our butterfly stretches from right here first. So our butterfly stretches, I have what feels like my tailbone, my lower back, and the back of my rib cage up against the wall. Some of you might have that gap in your low back that you feel, woo, when you are on the ground. Now I don't have that gap right now. It is filled by the wall. The wall is kind of nice and cold, so that's a plus. I'm going to go into my butterfly stretch, so my feet and my heels are close and inside the center of the mat. I'm going to have a straight spine, a straight posture. Right now I have a ponytail up against the wall, and that's okay. And we want to just breathe here. Try and get your shoulders against the wall as well. We're going to move our feet now into our diamond pose. So our feet are going to stretch out a little bit until it looks like a diamond in the center of our legs. And we are going to rotate forward. In my diamond position still, I'm just going to separate my feet, probably about half a foot to 6 inches. So right here, ever so slightly, and leaning forward as much as we can with that. I feel like my left hip is about to pop. And slowly coming out of that. Beautiful job. We are now going to go into our gravity splits over here on the wall. So how we get into those? I'm going to be seated really close to the wall. So I'm seated sideways. So my booty is already on the wall on the bottom. My upper body, I'm going to scooch my way down until I'm doing that exact same pose on the floor. So my butt's on the wall, my feet are on the wall, my chest is away. My top leg, whatever arm leg that may be, whether you're right or left, that is going to be your lead leg to push you up and over into your gravity split. So my right leg is the one that it is. I'm going to use it to lead my body to open up. And if your booty was completely on the wall, you should be all the way up against the wall. We're not making any scooches towards the wall. I am already here. I'm going to open up my left leg. And I'm just going to let gravity take its place and sink down. I do end up turning my pelvis towards the wall and down towards the ground. So that does open up my flexibility a little bit more. And from here, you want to breathe. We're going to point our toes. If you do have your bare feet against the wall, make sure that you clean up after yourself. Once you're done, we don't want to leave marks on the wall. Don't want to do that at all. And flex those feet. With your point and your flex, you should feel that your legs are slowly moving down. We're starting to warm up a little bit, and with the friction on our feet, that helps our legs move down a bit as well. And we're pointing out. And flexing. And pointing out. And flexing last time. And we're going to point out. We're going to sit here for a little bit. We're going to breathe. If you want to bring your hands towards the inside of your thighs, just applying that slight weight or that pressure onto your inner thighs will help you out. If you need to squeeze your leggies because you're like, oh my goodness, I'm dying, you're more than welcome to. But remember to breathe. Hello. Hello. So you can do these gravity splits while reading, while being on your phone. This definitely helps your splits as well. What I suggest when you do that is either to get your phone or a book or something to distract yourself, because when you're here and you're just like, this is all I can do, you kind of lose your motivation in my personal experience. So distract yourself for a little bit. If you want to put a timer on your phone, no more than 20 minutes, you totally can. But you're definitely going to feel it once you are closing your legs. We're going to stick here for a little bit longer. If you want to place your hands now on your stomach, we're going to monitor our breathing. We're going to breathe in through the nose, fill up that stomach, and exhale. Let's do 3 more breaths here, my friends. are going to come to the fun part of this. We are going to grab our shoulders. So my right hand is on my left shoulder. My left hand is on my right shoulder. I am grabbing here so I don't use my hands to assist me with my legs. I want to use pure strength, just like our leg lifts. We're going to feel the inside of those legs kind of burn a little bit. Woo, hello. We are going to point through our toes, and we are going to control our legs together. We are going to use an 8 count to bring our legs together. So we're not just floop, 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 bringing our legs together. It's going to be slow and controlled. All right, grabbing your shoulders. Ready, and 3, 2, 1. Start to lift. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Bring them together. Oh my goodness. I'm keeping my legs up on there because we are still not done, my friends. Okay, how does that feel for you guys? Are your legs awake? Right now I'm pointing and flexing through my feet in my pike here on the wall. I am bending my knees when I do my flex and pointing out to straighten. We are going to bring our feet all the way down, almost like we're in our seated squat, but our toes are facing parallel. We are going to open up those legs again now that we're in our bent legs, and we're going to go into our wall frog. So opening up, wherever they may land is where we're going to be. I'm going to use my elbows to push against my thighs and my knees, and opening up those knees as well. Oh, goodness. And let's hold this here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those knees together. You can help assist with your hands. All right, beautiful job. So this is where you're going to see what works for you. We're going to go into our wall supported, I believe it's like our figure 4 stretch. That's what it is. I'm going to leave my left foot on the wall. I'll be able to adjust it up and down to wherever I need the stretch. But for right now, I'm going to leave it wherever it feels natural. My right leg is going to come up off of the wall and placing in front of my foot. Now that I know that's where my placement is, I can make any adjustments to bring my foot closer to me to make it more of a deeper stretch, or away from me if it's way too much. So experiment in between here and there to where everything should be. Oof. And in the last 10 seconds, let's go a little bit deeper. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful job. Raise that foot on the wall to unwind your legs. We're going to switch to the opposite side. Oof. Artemis, want to join me? Alright, last 10 seconds. Try and challenge yourself. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful job. Raise that foot on the wall to unwind your legs. Beautiful. We're going to go into our crisscross applesauce here on the wall, just like how we regularly do with our hands on our knees. We are going to push them there as well. Deep breaths in through here. Good job, friends. We're going to bring those knees in towards our chest. And we're going to roll from side to side. Alright, rolling completely over to one side. Slowly start getting up on your own time. Let's go grab a drink of water, and then we will do the last of our cool down stretches. I'll see you guys in a bit. Hello, hello friends. Hope your water was hydrating. If not, probably drinking Dasani. I'm kidding. Alright, we're going to go down into our down stretches. We're actually going to start laying down. Oh, I'm sorry! I didn't know you were there! We're going to go into our cool down stretches. And we're going to be laying flat on our backs. Oh. We're going to bring our right knee into our chest. Our left leg is going to come on down, rolling out that ankle in one direction. And opposite direction. And pointing out that toe, bringing that left arm to that outside of that right knee. You're going to push it over your body, looking towards your right hand. Ooh, some lower back decompressions. Whew. And opening up that leg. And bringing that left leg into your chest. Right leg is going to stretch out long behind you. Rolling out that ankle in one direction. And to the other. Right hand is going to come to the outside of that left leg. Left hand is going to stretch out to the side. Pushing that knee over that body. Looking towards your left arm. Opening up that leg. We're going to go into Happy Baby. Hi, Artemis. So, going into Happy Baby, my knee is going to go into my armpit. I'm going to grab the inside of that leg. Same with the other side. And I'm going to be almost in a 90-degree angle with my knees. And I'm just going to roll side to side. Yeah. I know. Beautiful job. My knees are going to come into my chest. I'm going to rock and roll until I'm all the way up. Beautiful job. Let's go into our half splits. So I'm going to have my right leg in front of me and my left leg is just going to be bent right next to it. I'm going to forward fold over that right leg. Couple deep breaths here. In through the nose, out through the mouth. We're just here for a little bit. We're going to lift up. We are then going to place our foot into the hip crease of our right hip crease, and we're going to forward fold over that. So you should now feel a stretch in your left leg as well. And straightening out of that, we're going to go into our opposite leg. Same thing, half splits right next to our straightened out leg. Forward fold over that left leg. And straightening out of that. That right foot is now going to find the hip crease of my left hip crease and forward fold over that. Beautiful job coming out of that. And we're going to go back into our butterfly stretch, but we're going to flap out our wings. As I bid you guys adieu, we shall see you guys on Monday, but we do have Coach Freelove's Little Heroes class after this from 10:30 to 11. It'll be a great time. We will see you on Monday at 3 to 4 for Parkour. If you guys have any questions, even for me, you're more than welcome to comment on the video and ask. Artemis is pretty done. We'll see you guys next time.